Throughout all of the videos I've made on this channel about how college is easier than high school and about how, I have everything under control and I might be stressed about one thing or another thing that, it was all, regardless, going to be okay. Well, this video is going to be more of a journal entry. It's going to be a place where I can vent because, as you'll get to hear from me in a minute, I haven't been given many opportunities to vent in other spots. But I can confidently say that college is getting extremely hard. And also, I don't know why, but my webcam is acting a little bit weird. Something happened with my monitor and my software where I'm no longer being processed in 60 frames. So that's fun. I'm definitely going to have to get that figured out eventually. Also, I am recording at 6 p.m. This is not like me. I usually record anywhere between the hours of 1 and 3 p.m. And this might be pretty obvious from the lack of natural lighting in my camera view, but I've been working on homework all day. For those of you who don't know, I'm a cybersecurity major, and I just got to the point in my coding class where the teacher gives us a ton of work and barely any feedback. And it's like we're anchors to the Titanic getting dropped into the ship or dropped into the ocean from the ship, right? She's not helping us anymore. She's just kind of like, do your own thing. And it's hard. I have been climbing the same hill and dying on the hill every single time. This hill of saying that high school is so much harder than college, because in high school you spend 8 hours, 5 days a week physically in the classroom, and you have this ridiculous amount of homework and stuff like that. And I also made the same argument that college was easier because you have a lot more time on your hands outside of class to actually decide what to allocate your time toward, your personal endeavors, your schoolwork, your stuff like this, my hobbies, and hopefully eventually a way I can make money. I haven't recorded in a few days, and I haven't also been playing video games a lot. And I like to play video games, right? It's one of my favorite pastimes, right? Every single day I play a little bit of video games, I do a lot of schoolwork, study, all that stuff. I thought I was under control of a pretty good balance with my schoolwork and having fun in life, essentially. Well, that was all thrown for a curveball recently. My coding class just got like 12 times harder. And not only my coding class got harder, but like every single class didn't necessarily get harder, but just the amount of work they've been piling on top is just, it's been kind of wild. First thing I noticed is that the difficulty spike between sophomore year and freshman year is absolutely insane. Sophomore year is 4 times as hard as freshman year. Freshman year, we're just getting into the groove of things. We were, like the teachers understand that we're freshmen, so they're taking it easy on us. We have our 1101 classes, like the first level classes, right? Sophomore year is every single class times 4, essentially. The workload, the difficulty of stuff, and it's kind of wild, actually. Looking back and comparing how much free time I had then to compared to now, let me put it into perspective for you. I am a kind of person to not leave the gym until my workout is finished or I'm injured, right? An injury can be like, sore shoulders or like headache or anything like that. I know myself to be the kind of person to not leave the gym until a workout is finished. I have been so busy and my mind has been so clouded with, oh my gosh, I need to get this done, I need to get that done, that I've been leaving the gym early these past couple of weeks just to go home and just to get some stuff down on paper to say that I did it. That's insane. That is the most out of character thing for me in the entire world. That's more out of character than me eating healthy. I don't know how this is happening. Well, actually I do know. And it's not an issue of I'm just not doing good enough or I'm just not smart enough. It's just, I think the reality of college is finally catching up to me. I've been speaking with my roommates who are much older than me, and I've also been speaking to like my dad and other people, and they all say the same thing. They all say that college is much harder than high school because you, as a student and as someone who is trying to eventually get a degree so they can earn money, you are required to allocate your time differently than how you've ever allocated it. You are required to make your priorities straight, and if you don't, reality will hit you harder than a crack addict baseball player. And reality hit me pretty damn hard. I don't know what happened. I was doing fine until I wasn't. I mean, the beginning of this year was great. I was learning, I was doing all these things, I was submitting stuff on time, getting actually excellent grades. And all of a sudden, this past week and a half has been terrible. It's been assignment after assignment, and it's just been like stuff I've never seen before. Like, let me give you an example, right? In Python, which is the class I'm studying most, I am in a scripting and automation class. So we're using Python and other similar languages to automate things, right? We're messing with files, messing with scanning different text files to see what matches what and all that stuff. So the general vicinity of it is pretty understandable. However, I have a bad habit of mine where instead of paying attention to where stuff is stored on my computer in my file explorer, it's like where files are and like where different, directories are, I just kind of put stuff there and I just kind of allow stuff to go wherever it needs to be. And that has been catching up to me a lot lately because in my Python class, we're going over stuff that involves files. And I have been so stressed out about this stuff. Especially with the hurricanes too, it didn't give me a lot of time to study and actually get up to speed with these things. But my Python class has so much work that I need to get done. And I have to study for other tests in other class. It's so much. And I'm partially using this opportunity to make a video to rant because honestly, I've no one else to really talk to about this. As someone who's gone through quite a few periods of my life where I felt like I was pretty alone with in regard to who I can complain to. I don't mean to turn this into a sob story or anything, but I'm the kind of person to not reach out for help until usually it's too late, which is a habit that I need to break. And if any of you have that habit, break it immediately. It's not like a manly thing to just wallow in your own shame and just hold all these emotions inside. Like that, growing up as a man, that's one of the hardest things I've ever had to overcome. I'm almost 20, and as a man growing up, it is imperative that you go through some sort of bad thing or a multitude of bad things, and you learn to differentiate between being a man to someone versus being a coward, being a man versus being a boy. And what I mean by that is by being a coward, you are in your mind being a man. And I mean, when you're being a man in your head, you are holding all these negative emotions in. You're not letting anyone to know that you're just feeling this sort of way. You're, like you think everyone is dependent on me. And if I let this emotion out of my mind, then everyone's going to think I'm a wuss. That's not true at all. That's being a coward. Being a man is not letting your emotions control you, but realizing what's in and what's out of your control. Like I said in one of my most recent videos about the hurricanes, and it's taking these emotions, processing them, and speaking to someone about them. So therefore, you can take your emotions and handle them one by one, essentially. And also so you can get a second opinion and a second set of eyes on them, because that's also very important. You don't realize it because it's your mind, but your mind can wrap around itself so many times and it can just lead you down this terrible negative rabbit hole. And unfortunately, that is one of the biggest things that I struggle with as a man. I have it in my head for some reason that not speaking about my pains to even my parents or even my girlfriend, the people that are there to help me through these things, I, in my mind, think that speaking about these things is weakness. I think that I am being a coward. I'm being a boy. I'm not being a man. Every time I say something negative about my emotions, I can envision my testosterone levels just decreasing a little bit each time. And it's very unhealthy of me. And I think now, for once, I actually caught it in time. I'm emailing my professor. I'm reaching out to tutors. I'm talking to the people that are closest to me because they've been through this stuff. They know how it feels. And so it's imperative that people like me do these things as well, because it can be really hard, especially in college. But yeah, I just wanted to give this video as a little update and just, put it in your mind that everything that you see on social media is fake. Every single one of my videos, I try to keep this positive tone. I try to make jokes. I try to be funny for you guys. I try to be entertaining. I try to portray my voice through this shitty $50 microphone here, and I try to make it effective, and I try to make you smile. And that is a good thing. That's a good thing for YouTube, but it's not the reality of my life 99% of the time. And I know that may sound dark, but as a college student who's in the STEM field, I have a lot of homework, and that homework has left me very little time to do what I actually enjoy, which is going to the gym, playing video games, watching YouTube videos, hanging out with people. It's disheartening, but then I realized that everyone else is going through the same thing as I am. In one way or another, everyone I see when I go to the gym, when I step outside, when I go on a drive, every single person I see is going through one thing or another that's very similar to what I'm going through. It might not be school related, it could be family related, it could be some major issue that when it happens, everything else in that person's life gets shut down. Right now, I'm on high alert mode. My fight or flight response is kicking in, and I'm on survival mode, essentially. As my girlfriend likes to put it, I'm on survival mode. These coding assignments and the studying has been on my top priority for the past few days, and it's shown in my performance in the gym and just in video games, like all the stuff I enjoy. It's been taking resources, valuable resources from the things that I enjoy, and it is forcing me to put them into the things that I don't want to do, which is homework, because who likes doing homework? However, this is a very important trait to have. It's not positive or negative, but it gets the job done. It gets the work finished, which is why I hate school so much, because school has been indoctrinating you into acting like that. It's been teaching you how to take the resources from your creativity and your imagination and just streamlining them right into getting schoolwork done and focusing on a single letter grade, where if you get an F, you're going to think that the world's coming to an end, when in reality, it's not. I just need to realize that, and also anyone who's going through something similar, you need to realize this as well, that this is only temporary, and getting an F on an assignment or failing a class or even dropping out of college doesn't mean your life is over, which is something I really need to focus on. Now, that doesn't mean I will be dropping out of college. I'm still very undecided about that yet, but it's hard. It's really hard. And the hardest part about it being hard is that it got hard fast. Again, I say something sus at least once a video. I promise I'm straight. But yeah, thanks for listening to me rant, and I hope that at least one minor plot point in this video helped you through something. So remember, stay strong, it's only temporary, and stay safe.